Alright everyone, welcome back, and today we're going to be looking at this vise that's been sitting out in the rain for 6 months straight. Okay, so you might be asking yourself, what are these for right here? Well, I'll put it on the end of my vise that's outside, and I'll tighten these down, and then I'll have different vices that are on the board like this, with the same holes in the same location, so I can just drop them in and change my vise whenever I want. Very simple way of doing it, and it's very quick. But it's been sitting out in the rain, so it's really rusty, and we're going to restore it to a perfect condition because, well, it's spring cleaning time, because Monday was the start of spring. So as you guys can see right now, these are a little bit rusty on the inside. You can hear them just squeaking at me. And in one of the upcoming series, I'm going to be showing you and restoring with you guys this anvil, which we have to replace the board underneath, and there's some cool things about what I did to that piece of wood that's holding the anvil. Alright, so if we look at just this part, it looks actually really nice, and we have a spider in the shop. We had a spider in the shop. So underneath, it's actually very nice. There's no rust on anything except for the edges. That's not a big problem. This will have to be redone, and we'll file that down a little bit and make it brand new pretty much. There's rust on the side, so we'll take care of that. But then on our main one, there's no rust in the threads right there. And we'll take the base off and de-rust all of that. And as you guys can see, it's meant for pipes also. And basically, I can, in the future, just have it as a slide in to make it a little bit easier, but that's for my next bench. But I already prepped it for that. And we'll undo this, and we'll start cleaning this. So right along here I have 3 screws put into my vise and also going into the board, and that really just secures the vise. This is the basically second hand of clamping this entire thing down. And then we'll take this guy right here, undo this one, and this restoration honestly should take almost no time. And as you guys can see, it's actually not as bad as I think it would be. But again, we'll take this one off. And let's see. Oh, it's going to have to come off just slightly more. Alright. So this will need to be de-rusted just slightly. But let's take a look. That's definitely restorable. 6 months direct rain. This is not that bad. And just to show you guys, I'll get some Scotch pad and we'll brush it off. Alright, so got the Scotch pad. This top, we're actually going to file this down, but I don't want to clog my files, so what we'll do is we'll just get rid of all the rust. Now for this rim, I want this to have zero pitting, so I'm going to actually take a file and remove all of this pitting because my base is going to sit right on top of this, so the flatter it is, the more friction it'll have, and it won't want to undo itself on me. If you guys didn't know already, files are a push cut, not a pull. So when you actually go backwards, it'll dull your file out pretty quick. So always just push forward when you're doing stuff like this. Wood, that's a different story. But for any metal, just make sure you only go forward. You can do a little bit of a drag back, but nothing too crazy. So now that we've done a really coarse file, I'm going to take a really smooth, it's a single cut, and I'm just going to do the exact same thing. And after we do this, I'll actually hit it with a 220 grit sandpaper just to give it that last little bit, because you want it to look nice too. When someone undoes your vise or you do it yourself, you don't want to be the one that has funny looking vise. Not that it matters too much, but you should always take pride in your tools. So now is when I'll hit it with my 220 grit. For this other part right here, I'm only going to remove the slightest amount because, well, it's the bottom. But I'm going to make sure I'm keeping my file flat all the time. And I don't have to get this one perfect, but right where all the rust is, that ring, that's right where it was resting against the other piece. So I'm going to try to get that as flat as I can. So what we're wanting to do right now is just flatten this to a decently flat point. We don't want it to be all rounded or anything, just keep it straight. And if there's some really low spots, just you can ignore them, or you can attempt to get them all out, but I don't think that's going to be needed necessarily. Alright, so this is looking really nice. It's nice and flat, and it's really smooth, polished. So that's good enough. So I'm going to switch my focus over to this a little bit more. And I'm not going to use file or anything because, well, it doesn't exactly need to be flat. So just a little Scotch pad will be good enough. You can use a little sandpaper or wire brush. Either one will work just as good. So I went ahead and cleaned the top by myself, and what I'm doing right now is I'm going to clean the vise jaws, and these ones don't have to be perfect. The screws don't need to be cleaned either, even if they're a tad bit rusty. That's not a big problem or anything, but I think that this was on the wrong jaw, because if you look at it, it's sitting too low. So we'll pop the other one off right after we clean this up a little bit. We'll find out. So this is the top of the Vise jaw, and because it is the top, I'm going to take a file. It'll be a smooth one, of course, and we're just going to work this down. And we want to make sure this one is slightly rolled, so it doesn't have any sharp corners on it. And of course, just a little bit of sandpaper. So that's good right there. I already did this side, looks really nice. And this bottom, we'll go ahead and do the exact same. So, I won't do the other one with you guys, because you guys can just, if you want to see two, just watch the same one again. It's the exact same thing, literally. So that one worked, or that one went a lot quicker. So that's all good. Undo it. I'm fine with the scratch marks. Those don't bother me too much. Well, they'll get scratched up soon enough, somehow. And actually that Scotch pad took care of that rust really quick. So I'm going to do this one by myself, and I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, so we're done with everything. Everything's all restored, looking nice. So it is time to assemble everything. So let's see. The mini screws are right over here for this side. And we don't want it to be sticking up or sticking too low. So it's this side. So next up we have to drop this onto it, and it goes right there. And after this will be the adjustable screw. As tight as it'll go. Never did get to restoring this, but not too big of a deal. So it just drops right under there. And for this you want to tighten as much as you can by hand, because after that you'll have to hand crank it like this. And if it's loose on the bottom, then it won't tighten up. So like that. And then what I'll do is now bring this over, and it goes this way. So what I'll do is I'll drop it in and find my screws and everything. And this one goes down here because there's a washer at the bottom with another nut. maybe on a sunny day where it's not nighttime, I'll take you guys out and show you guys this setup I have. Maybe I'll do it when we have the anvil done, because it's just a great setup, and actually shouldn't have tightened that. You want to leave that loose so you can get over here to that and this one, and you can go ahead and just start these right away. And we're actually going to have to undo this a little bit. Bring that back around, tighten it up again. Alright, so there you guys have it. The vise is done. All we need to do now is drop this guy in, and we'll have a completed vise. Alright, so here we have it. Our vise is complete, and if I do say so myself, it does look really good. When you guys saw it at the beginning, it was just rust everywhere. Not as bad as I thought it would be, but still, it was covered in rust. And what I like, is this is sticking out now, so I can give it a little bit easier of a pull, where before it was here and my fingers are a little too fat for that. So when we filed the bottom and top of the plate, it actually lowered it just enough where I can give that nice pull. So it's nice looking, and I know someone's going to be curious. It's a Colombian, it's a D43.5, and if you guys don't already, get a design like this, because I guarantee you'll want to interchange different vices. So the vise I have right over here, that stays there. There's no moving that thing. Took me an hour and a half just to undo it at a garage sale. It was ugly, but well worth it. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't know what that one's going to be yet, but don't forget to subscribe. And if you guys would be kind enough, just hit the like button and let me know what you guys want in the comments. Let me know what you want me to restore next. And I'll do my best to do that. So, see you guys later.